Hey, we're live. Hello, hello. So, tonight we are taking a look at everything new I can find, any balance changes I found, anything that seems to be changed on the Shadows of Change patch. Thought I'd start us off with the big question: how are Grails doing? Because Grail Knights have been, as I'm sure many of you are aware, have been wildly overpowered for a very, very long time. Well, not that long, a couple of months. Complete terror of the meta. Let's see how they do against, their natural prey infantry on this patch. So yeah, tonight I'm just going to take a look at anything new or changed, see how it performs, try out some of the new units in testing scenarios. I don't have anybody to play against tonight, I don't think, so it'll be mostly just testing. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, anything in particular you do want to see, let me know and we can check it out. And just looking at this, Grails are doing a lot worse. Like, they're actually being stopped by the infantry blobs. One infantry unit, like one light infantry unit off on its own, can be charged through if it's not braced pretty easily. But if they brace, or if it's the heavier infantry, they have a much, much harder time pushing through, and they get stuck a lot and actually taking damage. They're not, like, completely dead. They actually seem pretty solid. But the hefty price tag means that I think you'll be seeing these guys a lot more rarely. And a lot more in the role of that anti-large arm-piercing cav. Cav dueling, killing monsters. Like, they can still do pretty good light infantry that isn't braced. They can still do quite a bit of work. But that heavier infantry that is braced is a much bigger problem. Or even more blobbed up. But they are still just a fine unit. They are not nearly as overpowered. And like I said, if they get stuck in, they're just dead. They have a much harder time pulling out now. So, Grails are in a much, much better spot. Yeah. And they can definitely still pay for themselves, but they are not the unholy terror that we had previously seen, which is a good thing. Also, is the stream actually working? Yeah, looks like we are actually live. Good, good, good. Awesome. So yeah, I have a list of my own things to show off. If you guys have any questions, anything particular you want to see, anything you want to know if it's changed, let me know in chat and I will add it to my list and we will take a look. Next thing I want to show off, you may have already seen this if you saw the video that Human Boy posted earlier today, but Pump Wagon's got some pretty significant changes. Hey, Seagons, welcome, welcome. Oh, what's the best way to show this off? Probably, show off some infantry first, and then we'll show Sky Strider tool. Pump Wagon's got a pretty noteworthy change. First of all, they did fix the bug where they're multi-hitting, so they can no longer just completely shred Sky Striders, which we'll show off here in a second. But they also got a pretty interesting change that kind of came out of left field. I don't know what the motivation for this change was, but it's definitely a bit of a game changer for them. The ROS Quake Herd. There's no ROS Quake Herd. Who told you that? I don't think they had any. I don't know why they would add a green skin ROR in this DLC. Hey, Rogue Guy. Welcome, welcome. So yeah, the Pump Wagons, they have ammunition now. They don't actually have a firing arc, but they have missile attacks. So if we get a little bit closer, they are very short range, only 55-meter range. They are explosive. They can actually do some decent work against infantry. A little bit closer, we should probably switch to a different map so they're not the AIs are always just perched on the hill. Or maybe just switch sides. We switch sides, we're fine. Come on, throw for me. Throw those missiles for me. There we go. They're actually doing not completely insignificant damage. No, not terrible damage. They have a pretty good supply of ammo. They can actually skirmish pretty heavily against infantry, almost like a grenade launcher light. Now, I don't know how they actually are doing in melee these days. Turn around and actually have them charge into the infantry. Uphill charge isn't great, but it is what it is. Yeah, they're not doing a whole lot of damage. They're not getting stuck either, so they can just kind of run around and skirmish and do okay. Yeah. They're actually potentially decent in the anti-infantry role. For pretty cheap, they're not that bad. They're not the hard carried, most busted thing they were in the world. They were, but they're not bad at all. They are doing all right. Loud Marsupial told you there's an ROS Quake Herd. You talked to a kangaroo and it lied to you? Akina versus Shades? I will take a look at that. Let me write that down. Okay, that is on the list. Missed the anti-large pump point, yeah. Alright, let's show on, yeah, so give me the ye old Sky Striders. The Sky Striders also, by the way, got a price increase at 2,300 now, which is probably for the best. And we have, here we go. Bonewood Staff. Those are the war wagons most. Yeah. Crossroads. Or I could just switch sides and have the AI on the flat ground. It's fine. I usually do testing on this map, so it's just fine. The Gorkon still king? Define king. Strongest duelist? Probably. It depends on what you mean by king. Yeah, it used to be you could do this kind of shenanigans with pump wagons. They would pretty much shred any large thing they came in contact with very, very quickly. This is no longer the case, as we are about to demonstrate. Situation on this. Yeah. Go ahead and pop that. Now they are actually getting destroyed pretty heavily by the Sky Striders. The Sky Striders are taking some damage, but I mean they are outnumbered pretty substantially, so like it's reasonably taking some, but they are actually surviving long enough to, you know, at least get troll guts or to get away or get support. But I mean, we have more funds here and we have a buff, so they're still doing okay, but they're not shredding them in seconds like they had previously, which is where we want to be. So they're not terrible, but they're doing all right. Welcome, welcome, Knighthood. All right. Let's switch sides. Oh, I can't switch sides. Alright, fine, we'll do MP Crossroads. Alright. So you want to see the Ashina versus Shades, so... We have Shades here. I put out more Dom content? Yep, I have plenty of videos coming for this week. A bunch of replays, and then I'll probably end up putting out a tier list at some point once I get a better handle on the meta. And I might update my guides for the factions that got their DLCs. Alright, so we got a Shade stack card here. Let's grab the Kislev Arwa, or the Kislev missile unit. Here are the stats side by side. So, less missile strength, longer range, more ammo, worse in melee, but they are, and a little more HP. They are substantially cheaper. They are 850, whereas Shades start at 950. As well as these have Buyer Blood and Weltite both have stock. So Shades are still a little bit better, probably, but they are a little pricier as well. Will be standard Bretonnia build now with the new prices? A good question. Probably. Let's take a look. I can't pull up Dom in Battle vs AI. It's probably still going to be Battle Pilgrims. It's probably going to be a lot of the same, just less. I'm probably cutting out Ground Knights in most of your builds because you don't need them. They're not essential most of the time. And you're just going to be relying on Knights of the Realm as your backbone, maybe even some questing Knights if you need some armor piercing. But it'll still be a lot of Peasants or Men-at-Arms and Battle Pilgrims, your main line, unless you need AP. Then you bring some Squires, some Archers. I don't think the style has drastically changed. You're really just cutting Grail Knights and bring probably cheaper Cav and a little more Infantry or Archers. Oh, also, they got new artwork for Gotrek and Felix, and I hate it. It looks awful. It looks terrible. I don't know why they keep updating art with worse art. That's what a nerd, yeah. And more models for ambushers. Oh, do they have more models? I didn't actually check. That's actually a pretty big deal because that's extra damage output. I always forget to check models. Yeah, 90 models for these guys. And the shades have 80. Yeah, that's a pretty big deal. Track to the biggest losers this patch from the patch, not including bug units. Probably Brett. They got the most nerfs. They were in a really good, they were in an incredibly good spot. So they might be just fine. But I haven't seen a ton of nerfs, to be honest. Who is DMing me? Okay, that's not important right now. Yeah, probably Brett. They have cost increase on Grail Relic. They got 100 gold on Grail Relic, 50 on Battle Pilgrims, 50 on Foot Squires. Was 100 on Grail Knights, as well as the mass nerf, so Grail Knights aren't OP anymore. I think that's the faction that got hit the hardest, probably. Let me check my notes. I think a lot of other factions just got buffed. There weren't a whole lot of nerfs. Ogres got a couple of mild nerfs, but Ogres are still fine. We'll go over that in a bit. Okay, done that. Just crossing some things off my list. Have I tested Zangors? In what regard? I have used them extensively. They are very, very good. I haven't played around with their ability. Does the Gorgon beat the Elemental or the Mutalith? We can do some big monster fights. Let's do some big monster fights. Let's give you Beastman. Beastman will just give you a great Bray Shaman with no spells, and you should sit in the back and not have fight. And then we'll give you the Gorgon. My assumption is that the Gorgon probably wins against the Incarnate, but we'll have to see. The Incarnate has very low melee defense, so it's not the greatest duelist. You will shoot. Don't want you. Change Dragon Mount prices? I haven't checked. I will check Dragon Mount prices. Those E-Skeletons of 2K have less cap right now? I haven't tested that, and I can't test that without another player. So maybe I can get somebody in here later to help me test the cap weights, but I haven't tested those myself. This Actiona dudes look OP as hell. Dragon Cross was at mega discount. Yeah, they're very, very good. Power Grab is still functional. It did not get changed. Power Grab still works, so Skaven are still fine. Traderkin, I don't know if Traderkin got nerfed. I'll check. Keeping their ability after resummon, I have not detected. I will test that. Alright, go fight. Actually, I can't test anything in domination without another player because the mod I use for AI testing is not working on the beta. It was crashing my game. All right, smack each other about. Yeah, I suspect the regen from the Gorgon will do it well. All the extra 100 melee weapon strength should do good, but no, yeah, the Gorgon's doing pretty well in this fight. I'm not surprised. Yeah, it costs more. It's more of a dedicated duelist. So this is kind of what we wanted, although the Incarnate's not doing bad at all. It's definitely getting a run for its money, not as one-sided as you probably would like. The Incarnate Elemental has a lot of, it hits really hard. But yeah, the Gorgon does win, but only just barely. Yep. Dryads versus Things in the Woods. Alright. Ares takes Streltsy now. Their projectile speed is faster, so if you're trying to hit a quick moving target or something big, they're probably good. So if you need to punish something like chariots or a flying character, they're going to be much better. Numbo stuck in human form and crushed by stuck in human form. I don't know. Let me add all these to the list. I think he sucks in general. I think all the dragon characters suck, and that hasn't changed. Alright, Dark Elf Dragon Mount prices real quick. Nope, still 2,300 for the standard kit on this character. As for Malekith himself, I don't remember off the top of my head what the price was, but it's the same price as the other one, so probably the same. Contest Gorgon versus the Mutalith. The Mutalith might smack it about. The Mutalith is kind of nasty. Out of there. Yeah, the Mutalith is nuts. Mutalith is crazy good. Maybe cut Streltsy range. Fat chance anyone uses them now. I don't remember what the Streltsy range was. Some buffs like zombie handguns, though. They have not gotten them so far. Maybe they will in the future. Zombie handguns got a missile strength buff. What was the number? Let me check my notes. +3 missile damage, which for a high model count unit like them is pretty big deal. They also gave deck gunners 4 more models, so they are trying to buff Coast back into like a more gunline style, which is nice. So they're not that melee grind abomination they have been for most of Warhammer 3's life. But those 2 buffs alone probably won't take them all the way. Perfect looks like perfect vigor, so not surprising if he does beat Yumbo. Yeah, I mean Yumbo is also a hybrid character. He's meant to do a lot of things, so he's not like the best duelist. But he also has other things to offer, casting, the executioner ability, which is a little bit silly. Also, this is probably my new favorite monster. The Mutalith is just so cool, dude. It's so cool. And it's like a pretty strong anti-large duelist, too. Like, it's got pretty good stats. Bray Shaman, don't get involved. You cheater. You cheater. Alright, well, we'll see how this goes. Yeah, Mutalith seems to be doing really well here. It does have that aura, the debuff aura that pops every so often, as well as the Mortis engine that's actually damaging the Gorgon. How much value are you actually getting? Okay, the Bray Shaman hasn't actually hit yet, which is good. Has been damaged a bit, but yeah. The Gorgon's doing just fine. You might actually still win this. You need to stop swinging. I can see you swinging. Go away. You're a caster. You're not supposed to be fighting. Yeah, it is pretty close, but I think the Gorgon is just about going to edge this one out. Yeah, the Gorgon does barely win. And show me that death animation. Oh, you're not going to pursue me? Come on. Chase me. Come on, come kill me. Yeah, he's not going to pursue. I make myself the defender so he actually attacks me. I'll have to check. Isn't execution kind of OP? In the right situation. In Domination, I don't see it being very relevant for a faction like Cathay that isn't that good at sniping characters anyway. Yeah. PP guns have acute, the unit dies anyway issues. I mean, yeah. Alright. What was I checking? I was checking something. Let's see. Coast. So yeah. Handguns are up to 20 now. I think they were 16 before. And deck gunners now have 36 models. Our Vortex is just worse than the regular one. Depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a Mortis engine, it does lose the Mortis engine effect. But it gains some combat stats. And as well as it gives you a much burstier effect, which I haven't tested this yet, so we can test that a little bit later. But for a Mortis, I would probably stick with the base one, just for the consistency, although if you need the burst and the extra combat stats. A little bit extra combat stats. Yeah, 12 melee attack, 10 leadership. Not that bad in melee. Flying casters don't engage in battle. Malagor. Is that a question? What's if there are screamers? Why do their ability have such a big circle? That's a really interesting thing. So that's actually on my list of things I want to look at. So let's do that one right now. So give me some Dark Elf infantry and the sorceress. So yeah, the Arwar Screamer is janky. Perk Vigor undervalued for Dom. I feel like units spend go away emote icon. Spend most of their time exhausted if they're not immediately wiped out. Kind of depends on the unit. If it's a unit that you expect to stick around for a long time, sure. Something like the Aura Zargard that's gonna sit on a point and grind for forever. Sure. It's fine. Undervalued? I don't think anybody undervalues it. Like, it's pretty good, but it's not that bad. Will Zinch bring Be'lakor with the Changeling? In certain situations, probably. Be'lakor is definitely one of the, like, it's either, if you're bringing the Changeling, it's for Be'lakor or Kugath, really. Maybe Skarbrand or Nakari, but mostly Be'lakor and Kugath. Yeah, usually, in most of my tests, the caster without spells will just sit back and try to cast, but I think it was because he was getting Mortised he actually started fighting. Okay, so yeah, this ability, it's a big ol' AoE, and let me show you what it actually does. Because the indicator is deceitful. It lies to you. So it's this big circle, but when you actually cast it, it is just a little tornado, and as far as I can tell, it always goes directly away from the unit. Like I had them right alongside. I cast them, and if we wait for the cooldown to come back. Give me back the cooldown. Why are you leaving? Come back. Come back. Okay, but yeah. If we cast it over here, it always seems to fly always directly away from the Screamers. So, the damage on it is not bad. The Aura Screamer has definitely impressed me. Between that ability to give them the little infantry clear and just being a gold chevron unit that is already a good unit, they are pretty good. Alright. Becca wanted to see Dryads versus things in the woods. Can I make myself... Aha! Now they'll attack me. Lovely. Wood Elves... Dryads, and then we'll go Kislev with things in the woods. Seems like it's going to be pretty toxic in land battle. Which part? Yeah, the spell indicator is a little bit silly. Yeah, it should probably have a wind spell. Yep. Infinite Kite, yeah. Now, that is the one thing I have noticed about Zinch with this DLC is a lot of the units they got are aggressive. Zangors are pretty good at just running in. All the big monsters really want to get in there, so it didn't really buff the kite style that much. That said, having the speed of the Zangors means you could also kite with it, so it could be a little obnoxious. But from the games I played with Human Boy, the land battles I played, Zinch Rush felt really good. So I did not, however, try the kiting because Human Boy is my friend, and I want to keep it that way. Alright, here's your Dryads versus things in the woods, Serka. Enjoy. Dryads get punted. Absolutely punted, as it should be. The elves must suffer. Ah yes, the elves must suffer. They don't get much value. I mean, well, this one actually got pretty good value. This one almost died. But the charge from the other ones was devastating. So. There is, however, other good news for the Wood Elf enjoyers among us. So I saw 3 buffs. Waywatchers got extra missile strength. How much was it? Check my notes. +4 missile damage for Waywatchers, which is pretty good. They're gonna be hitting real hard. Wild Riders got 50 gold cheaper. And Sisters of the Thorn got 12 extra models. They had 48, now they have 60. So that's a 25% increase in damage output and tankiness. So they're actually like a decent unit right now. I've got a video coming out in the morning, so like 10 hours from now, showing off these guys in a domination game, and they were doing really, really well for me. No. What else confirmed? Second best tree faction, yeah. Alright. We did that. We did that. What else we're checking? Oh yeah, so trains for the Chorfs don't seem to be fixed. They seem to still be very, very silly. Let's show that off. What's a good target for trains? Let's just destroy some Bretonnian Cav. It'll be nice and cathartic for us. Glitter our bows minus 100? Oh. Yeah, Wood Elves are getting all the buffs in the world. Happy the Wolves getting a buff. They've been quite weak in the last patch. In land battles. In Dom, they were pretty good. Their mobility sucked, but their infantry is like crazy good, and their archers are always solid. So they're definitely going to be pretty good this patch. Wood Elves are... I don't know if they're going to be S tier, but they're definitely strong. They're definitely going to be real, real strong. Go, my unholy monstrosities. Come on, let me charge. Get in melee, yeah. Yeah, they're still disgusting. Drains are still absolutely gross. They're taking no damage. They're dealing a ton. I mean, this is a good fight for them, like non-AP Cav. But still, like they're just still hitting crazy hard. They're still going to be, you know, propping up Chorfs as much as possible. We missed a skirmish cap buff for Wood Elves. We looked at... What have we looked at? We looked at Grail Knights. We looked at some monster duels. Some of the new monsters versus a Gorgon. Trains are still bonkers. We compared... We looked at the Arwar Screamer ability. We compared Shades with the new Akshina. I still don't know how to pronounce that. Yeah. Glitter buffs Charx is gonna... Yeah, Charx is ecstatic. Yeah. Always nerve-wracking when a good Deanna, good factions buffed. Indeed. Yeah, AI doesn't like testing Skullcrackers. So yeah, Power Grab also still works. I can't show off Dom games unless I get the Battalion here, which we might do in a little bit if he's around. What haven't we shown off? Oh, Kislev got some price changes. Armored Kossars got 50 gold increases, which is good because they were wildly overperforming. We talked about the Ogres. Skystrider's got a cost increase. Nalbar Trappers got nerfed. They lost their bonus for infantry, and they got a price increase. And they're still probably going to double their value in every game because this unit is gross. I need to check off things in my notes. Did that. Talked about that. Talked about... Oh, where is... They're going to talk about that. Flame Cannons got a buff. Dwarf mains everywhere can rejoice. Flame Cannons now have 280 range, up from, I think they had 230 before. Let's see. Empire got a really weird buff. They got a steam tank cost decrease. They're now only 1900, down from, I think they were 2100. Yeah, Coast handguns got buffed. Yeah. What are the changes for the rats? I haven't actually seen rat changes. Did they change rats? No, Storm Vermin are still... Oh, no, Storm Vermin got... Oh, they did get a price decrease. Ooh, they buffed rats! I think it's only minus 50, though. I think they were 1,000... Actually, no, they... I can't remember what the prices were. Let me check Total War stats. Total War stats come to me. Storm Vermin prices. I didn't even notice they buffed my rats. So it was... Okay, so halberds were... Okay, halberds were unchanged, but the sword and shield lost 100 gold price. Interesting. I don't understand why, but I'm not upset. Yeah. Then you said they also got Warp Lightnings. Oh yeah, Warp Lightnings did get cheaper. Neato. I didn't even notice the rat buffs. Ooh. Things that would probably melt Skullcrackers. Warline might war organs spike better. Don't know. 2000? Okay, yes. Steam Tank is expensive as hell. Pyro Titan buffs? Pyro Titan is still 2k. Let me compare stats. Ooh, Tomb King. Tomb Kings. Pyro Titan. Let's see. We got same armor, same hit points. Speed is the same. Melee attack's the same. Melee defense is the same. Yeah, it doesn't look like Higher Titan's got any changes, unless there's spells. Nope, same spells as far as I'm aware. Yep. Doom Wheels? Did Doom Wheels get cheaper? I'll be honest, I haven't looked at a Doom Wheel with the intention of bringing it in a long time. So I don't know what their price was. Nope, $14.50. They're the same price. And they still suck. Stormbringer, yeah, Stormbringer could definitely... I don't know, the thing is that the instances I found where Stormbringer were good, it was Stormbringer halberds. I never really had a use for the sword and shields, and obviously the halberds didn't get changed. Yeah. Alright. Oh, somebody asked me earlier to check Chaos Knights. Chaos Knights were having some janky charges in the previous patch. Just give me some Northgate Marauders to beat up on. Yeah, they weren't really connecting on their charge. They weren't doing a whole lot of damage. What about Sphinx? The War Sphinx, or the War Sphinx was unchanged. I checked that. I don't remember the Necro Sphinx. I will check that after we are done here. Okay, Necro Sphinx is the exact same? Okay. Yeah, the War Sphinx is unchanged as well. I know I checked that one. Yeah, Stormbringer and Halberds are the useful one. Like I've never really found a use for the other ones. Alright. Chaos Knights on the charge. Let's see how they do. This is kind of an ideal circumstance for them. Light infantry in an open field that aren't braced. So they should do pretty good work here, right? Yeah, they did pretty good. Yeah, I don't know where they were at before, but that seems like pretty good damage to me. We pull out and do it again. If all the models could please kindly get out of melee. Run and do it again. Get out of melee, I said. Or just die. That also works. Just lose your models. Yeah, they seem to be doing pretty well, at least against the light infantry. They are actually doing shot cav things. Imagine that shot cav doing shot cav things. Never before seen unless you play Brett. Stormbringer at 950 price strip worse than new Zangors. I mean, a lot of things can be worse than the Zangors, I'll be honest. Necrosphinx looks the same to me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's unchanged, so. Alright. I'm gonna see if I can get Super Titan here to help me test some things in Dom. Alright, is there anything I missed you guys wanted to see? Kalita Mass on the Serpent. But who cares? The answer is that exactly 2 Tomb King players care. 1300. Don't know what it was. Changes for Corn? I don't think so. All the prices are the same as far as I recall. Don't think Fleshhounds got touched. I'm not aware of any Corn changes. Again, I don't have patch notes. All I have is the notes I've taken of things I've found, so I might miss things. But as far as I'm aware, actually, Scarbrand looks cheap as hell. Did they make Scarbrand cheaper? They make Scarbrand cheaper. How much was Scarbrand before? Scarby. 25 and 25. Okay, nope, I'm crazy. Jade Lion better or Jet Lion? Probably Jet Lion. To be honest, the main use I've found for those guys is specifically the Jet Lion gives Yin Harmony, so it acts as a ranged unit, which actually lets you play more aggressive build without being dependent on missile units. Oh, that Imp General on a horse. Oh, yeah. No Flamer changes? I don't think so. Nope. I think Flamers are still as they've been. Yeah, I definitely prefer the Jet Line. The Jade Line, like, these guys are okay combatants. They're not great. The debuff, I guess, is okay. Flammable's kind of nice. There's only like 2 units that actually make use of it, and that's the ROR and Fire Rains, and I guess the Balloons. So, like, the Jade Line, I don't find a lot of purpose for. The Jet Line, however, providing the Yin Harmony in a melee unit is exceptional, because it means you aren't reliant on exclusively missile units to proc your Harmony. So, it's quite good. Also, Onyx Crowmen are cracked. I have seen the ROR Onyx Crowmen kill, like, Kairos and a Big Siege Lord. The basic Big Siege Lord. I've seen them tear apart the Blue Scribes. Like, they are dangerous in the air. They are terrifying, and their drop is really good. We said Eltharion could be meta now, but 100 gold price increase and 100 gold mount. Am I missing? This sounds like some high elf optimism. Eltharion, I don't know what his price was, so you tell me. He's 2050. Fair Streltsy and Akshina? Sure. So Akshina have better everything except for armor and charge bonus. They have the same hit points. They have stock. They have they have stock. They have Vanguard. They have a little more range. They have more weapon strength, missile strength. Really, the only use you're gonna have for Streltsy, I think, is killing like horse-sized single entities. So you're gonna have a hard time hitting with the bows. Alright, Subutai is here so we can do some of the capture rate testing in multiplayer, in Domination. And we can test the Zangor's resummoning thing. Okay, so he could be there in like 5-10 minutes. Sounds good. Used to be 1100 based, now he's 1000 based. Okay. Okay. So on foot he's cheaper. I have optimism indeed. What's the point of Streltsy now? Yeah, like I said, small, fast-moving targets or flyers are still going to be better because gunpowder travels faster. So it's going to be much less dodgeable. But that's the real thing. And they're going to be more durable thanks to their armor. And more resistant to cav charge and stuff because the Akshina ambushers have a spread formation, so they're pretty vulnerable to being charged by cav. But for the most part, you will be seeing the ambushers a lot more than Streltsy, I suspect. Streltsy going to be very, very niche going forward. After Bretonnian build? Sure. Do a Brett build. So the generic one's probably Fae. With still just the basic, spamming the passive. And conduit. We can take that. We still want 2 of these. We want our battle pilgrims. Some infantry. More infantry. Actually, probably don't need all of those, but it's fine. Those and those infantry, some archers to back them up, and we're actually going to need somewhere to spend more money in our starters. So we'll drop a couple of peasant mobs. Maybe I actually don't need peasant mobs at all. We can go for our battle pilgrims and a couple more archers and be pretty happy. Something like that for a starter, and then we're bringing in 4 Knights of the Realm. Probably the Companions. The Companions are going to be our like elite cav option, I suspect. They have just a better stats than Grail Knights, aside from charge bonus, so anything large needs to die is going to be the Companion's job. Maybe I'll bring a couple of Foot Squires if we need some armor piercing, or some halberds if there's a lot of large things facing things like ogres, or another Brett faction, or Lizardman dinos we poke down. And then from here we kind of have options. Like actually, like this is probably your like base for most Brett builds, and then you have option slots. Do you need armor piercing infantry? Do you need halberds? Do you need more cav? Do you need artillery? It's kind of, yeah, it's an option slot, so do what you want from here. Or you could sub in Lewin and bring a little less infantry, or Alberic, whatever lord you need. Fey without paladins? Yeah. And the zombie handguns that have less damage, less models, and you pay 300 more? Yep. But they have better melee stats than zombie handguns. Zombie handguns are terrible in melee. Like a can't share OP, Stroll C6? A little of both, I think. The reason horrors are so bad. Horrors are pretty good. Like, they make up for that with much higher missile strength than most units. I mean, like I said, Grail Knights can be useful in certain situations. Like, I suspect against vampire counts, you're still going to bring Grail Knights. Like, where they were always good. Or against a faction that, like, Lizardmen that's like they bring big dinos, you need the armor piercing to kill. But they're not going to be a universal pick anymore. They're not going to be, oh, I'm playing Brett, grab a Grail Knight. Or as many as you're allowed to bring. Like, they will only be used in the situation where you need an elite anti-large armor piercing unit. So, our Rostrelty. Yeah, their melee sets are fine, but I think they're shotguns. I think they are shotguns that actually do pretty good damage. What else can be better in this patch? Oh yeah, Wood Elf's got a lot of buffs. They got a lot of little buffs. Yeah, the spears got cheaper, the Weight Watchers got more damage, Skirm Cav got cheaper, the Elite Skirm Cav got more models, the Cavalry got cheaper. Like, Wood Elves are looking pretty good these days. Alright, so it had something come up, so we can't actually do that testing right now. So we are back to bullying the AI. Pegasus is still bad and only good to deal with flying things? Yeah, Pegasus didn't really get changed, I don't think. They're still pretty lame. Oops. I did not mean to do that, I just minimized chat. Yeah. What else do we have to check? So let me take a look at my notes. I think we got a lot of it. There are some other things I want to test. We need another player to be in domination. Oh, actually, one thing we can check. I was meaning to test how fast the ability is charged on Zangors. Where is each? So Zangors have this ability right here, Arcane Charge. Increases when nearby allies or enemies cast spells. I want to see the rate at which that casts. I want Kairos because he has life leeching, so we can just spam blue fire at something. Nice and cheap. Life leeching, sure. Just give me some bunch of targets. Make us the defenders so they don't come at us. And also blue scribes have an ability I want to check. See how quickly that charges. No new there is one new Dom map. I can't show it without a player. It'll be in the video I'm posting in the morning. Yeah, it's in the video I'm posting in the morning, so you can check it out in that video tomorrow. Damn the chat, now you closed it. No, Drakons, don't do it. Melkoth's nerf, full turn whales down a bit after the unit buffs. Indomitalist, I didn't realize Melkoth's got nerfed. I haven't checked any spells. It just occurred to me. I have not looked at a single spell stat change. I don't know if any of them got changed. Yeah, well, we have the blue scribes Drakons, so we'll have spells of all sorts of WOM cost. Zangors look busted? That's because they probably are. Zangors feel excellent on both the Tzeentch and Beastman roster. I think they're a bigger deal for Beastman, but they're also insanely good for Tzeentch. Like, a fast, armored, silver-shielded infantry unit is... First of all, it's, like, unprecedented to have something so fast and armored and shielded and Vanguard. Yeah, they're crazy. And their stats are exceptional, too. Like, 35, 30, 30, 32 charge bonus with Primal Fury. They're just so good. Alright, so it has infinite range. So it says nearby, but nearby is a lie. The range is infinite. So we're going to go cast Blue Fire and see what percentages we get on that. Also, we need to run away. We don't actually want to fight. Okay, what percentage do we get? We got 6%. So that is a whole 0 weapon strength off of 1 spell. What if we cast a more expensive spell? None of these spells are more expensive. Are you serious, game? Alright, give me another... Well, no, we need to cycle this spell. So cast Curse of Leper on you. Another 8 cost, so it should give us another 6%. Oh, and what was yours charged at? So it's at 14 after 2 spell casts. These guys are at also 14 after 2 spell casts. And do we have a more expensive spell now? Yes, we do. We have many more expensive spells, so we need WOM. Run away until we have the Winds of Magic we need. And go ahead and cast a Banishment. I heard Banishment got a new animation. I don't know if it's true. Banishment animation? Ooh, it did clean it up a little bit. That's nice looking. It still does fuck all damage, but it looks nice. And after that, they're up to 32%, 31%. So yeah, it does increase based on the cost, the WOM cost of the spell. And these guys are at the same rate, so yeah, it's all charged at the same rate. So yeah, it's gonna take quite a while to charge that up. So unless you're kiting pretty hard, not gonna be something super relevant, but it is nice to know. Melkoth's got +1 WOM cost. I didn't know Pendulum got buffed. I did know that. Human Boy told me that. Can Doc finally be brought in quick battle? I can't. I mean, I can try quick battles, but I really doubt there's anybody playing quick battles. Actually, no, I can't play quick battle. Oh wait, multiplayer battles. That's the wrong button. It's ranked. Yeah, I doubt there's gonna be anybody for me to match with, because there's like, I don't know, a couple dozen people that have access to this patch. So there's not gonna be anybody for me to play against. So I can't check. Cathay Artillery Crews? Oh, that's a good one, yeah. Let's see if we can Burning Head an Artillery Crew. Give me a cannon, give me a fire rain, and give me a Burning Head caster. And while we're here, we might as well also take a Pit of Shades caster. We don't know. I don't know if they retain the buff, and I can't test without another player. So we will have to wait until we get somebody, or probably do that another night. Can I target spells? What do you mean, can I target spells? Think stays, that'd be pretty nice. Yes, it would be very nice if it stayed. I wouldn't be that surprised, because other buffs, as I recall, work that way. I can't remember. I'm completely blanking. But let's check this real quick. My game crashed. Lovely. What mount does the new Cathay General get? He gets a horse and a Longma. I believe that's it. So he can fly, which is neat. I don't know if there's an instance where you actually would use him, at least in Domination. Nice, it saved all of our settings. Actually, I can show you guys the new map, because I have replays we can pull up to show the new map. What has happened so far? A lot. Quite a lot. Looked at a bunch of bugs that got changed, gone over all the like price and stat changes that I found. We tested some monster duels, tested some cav charges. We tested Chorf trains, we tested Grail Knights. Yeah, we did a bunch. Tested the Tzeentch Arwar Screamer. Yeah, we did a bunch. So, feel free to rewind if there's something you particularly want to see. That is actually the first crash I've had, I think, on the beta. Actually, I think I crashed it once when I was trying to load a mod. I was trying to load the AI bots in Domination mod so I could test without another human, but it crashed. It didn't like me. Alright. So, for those of you who aren't aware, there was a bug where Cathay Artillery Crews just wouldn't take any damage from certain spells. So, we need to see if that's still a thing, because it's a pretty big deal if it is. And it's still a thing, at least with Burning Head. We'll test with Pit as soon as we get the WOM. Artillery Crews are immortal! There will be no sniping of Cathay's artillery. Not today, anyway. Thunder and handgun missile strength. I will take a look. Handgun missile strength is still at 17. Thunder missile strength is also at 17. Yep. Only one map? Indeed. Yes, let's take a look at the map. I have some replays. This one probably won't be cast. So we can load this one up. The Mimikyu, Gears of Blood and Corpses. I have that on my list. I can't test that with another human. So, those are on my list. Yeah, so this is Spawning Pools, Lizardmen. I hope you like aquatic units. Don't think it was just Cathay. I was only aware of Cathay, but I could be wrong. If the Lord Magistrate, I will take a look. Alright, so this is the new map. So we got a big old flank angle around a massive vast piece of terrain that seems pretty irrelevant 90% of the time. We have one big objective in the center. We have round objectives, which is brand new, I think. And we have two objectives in the side that are in water, so praise be to Lizardmen and Coast, who have aquatic units. We have some nice narrow chokes rotating between the center and the sides. We have this little forest corridor to actually sneak across. What I have found playing it is that it can be very, very difficult to rotate between Objective 1 and the other two, as these hallways can get blocked up pretty easily. So you really want to be summoning kind of in the lane, or like I find I succeeded most when I committed to Objectives 2 and 3, and we just pushed along one side rather than trying to rotate between the two sides, because it's very easy to block these narrow corridors. So that is my assessment of this map. It's a nice overhead view. Yep. Spawn zones are pretty spread out. Again, there's two far over on the left. I don't think they're going to be that useful. And if you want to see the Changeling in action, I do try some Changeling shenanigans in this replay. Changeling actually has some really nice stealth items, which I didn't bring. But it's kind of funny that you can stealth and... So the thing is, you can stealth, your opponent can see you initially, because it takes some time, you need WOM to be above 15 in order to actually be stalked. But once you are stalked, obviously you can get wherever you want. And your opponent at no point in the battle has any idea what character you can turn into. So you can just kind of waddle up, and they don't know if you're going to turn into Ugath, or Skarbrand, or Nakari, or Vlad, or whoever you want. So in this one I have Skarbrand primed up, and I'm just going to try and waddle up to Faye and Sniper. But Human Boy's wise to my bullshit, so he tries to get me. Starbring goes on a rampage, so we aren't so lucky. But yeah. Changeling. Bogler OP. Bogler was already OP, my friend. It was OP without water. It's going to be busted on that map. So very, very busted. It is a very pretty map, though. Yeah. Okay, here's... Yeah, not much trappers. I like the map. It's better than a lot of the other base game maps. I think you probably won't see it in tournaments that have modded maps. I think the mod maps are still a little bit better. But I do like that map. Parts of that team solely relevant. Yeah, unless you're doing like a mass stock Vanguard like Beastman, it's not super relevant. Or if there's like a big missile box behind the objective, I don't think it's very relevant. Using better camera mod? I have the debug camera on, so I went in the INI files and activated the dev camera, which is pretty common for most tournament players to do. Stock art staying hidden bug been fixed? Don't know. We can check. Who are the most egregious offenders? It's like camo skinks are the ones who usually do that bullshit, right? So... can do the most obnoxious army known to mankind. Camera mod? No. It's the debug, like it's the dev camera. If you look up Total War Warhammer debug camera, you can get a guide on how to turn it on. It's very, very common for tournament players to use it. You should get characters with mounts with Changeling? Yeah, that'd be nice. There'd be a lot more versatility for him. Tretch, yes. The ultimate BM, 3500 Tretch. Malekith? What about Malekith? He'd be best. You're getting cheap. Well, first of all, no. Malekith is not that expensive. Second of all, you're getting foot Malekith, not on a dragon. Items? You get all your items. I think it's just abilities. Wait. No, I think you get everything. You get spells. I think you get or no. Oh, no, you don't get items. You don't get items. You get all your abilities and no items. That's what it is. That's because with Be'lakor, you get everything. Be'lakor's a great thing for Changeling to turn into because he gets his whole kit. Be'lakor doesn't have items. All of his are flagged as abilities. Oh my god. Lizard bullshit. We're not prepared. Lizards. Oh, lizards. I know you're there. Oh, they're on defense. So they're not actually gonna come and skirmish me, are they? Hard to tell. I think they were invisible for a little bit, but not entirely sure. We'll see if they go back invisible again. That one's the one firing. Come on, hit me. I want you to do it. Yeah, they're definitely staying invisible. Oxy is. No, that's just Oxy shooting. The other ones seem to be revealing pretty reliably. Not entirely clear on that. Mr. Mortis. Yep. He was on a dragon. Yeah, but you don't get the mounts. Yeah, you do not get mounts with the Changeling. So I could show that off. Changeling. So if we bring the Changeling, if we turn into good one. Do Lewin. Turn to Lewin, we'll be on foot. Malekith with everything costs 4,600, but when will you ever bring Malekith with everything? You bring Soulstealer and you bring no other spells. Continue Yonbo and the turn to a dragon. I'm told the answer is no, but I haven't checked. We can take that. We can take a look. Like, the thing is, Malekith might be that expensive with his whole kit, but having that much kit, like having all 6 spells, isn't very useful in multiplayer anyway. Like, the only spell you want is Soulstealer. Sometimes Chillwind, But you never really want any of the other 4 spells in that lore, so it's just like, yes, technically you get the extra spells, but they're not actually worth it. Like, there's no use for that money. So, Changeling, we turn into Lewin, we will be on foot. Yep, on foot. We have Foe Seeker, Stand Your Ground, and Lion Shield, but we have no mount. No change to Dark Elf Dragon mount costs. They're still $13.50, $15.50. I can't remember what it was, but we checked that earlier. Malekith Dragon with his full kit is, oh wow, he's 4,600. Yeah, the only kit you ever take for Malekith is like sometimes Circlet of Iron. Like, this is Malekith at his like best for multiplayer. Stand Your Ground isn't very useful. Destroyer is okay. Supreme Spell Shield is okay. Of Conjuration isn't that good when you're only casting Soul Stealer. So, like, a lot of that is just dead weight if you spend that much money on him. Yeah, so Seraphon is 1,500, and it's the same for the Supreme Sorceress. Also 1,550. Power Darks is worth it 100% of the time as long as you can afford 100 more gold. I don't know if I agree with that. Because your goal with your WOM is to cast Soul Stealer in this scenario, I don't believe Power of Darks actually gives you enough WOM on its 2 charges to give you another Soul Stealer. All it's going to do is damage your own unit and give you WOM that you can't reasonably use. Like, if you want the extra WOM to cast a Doom Bolt or a Blade Wind, be my guest, but those spells are really underwhelming, and probably not worth the damage you're doing to your own units or the amount of time it takes. Because that's the thing, you're really like setting back the amount of time like when you get your WOM. If you spend your WOM early to get more WOM later, you're not gonna have much impact when the actual fight happens. You're gonna have impact in the extreme late game when your opponent's out of WOM and you have that tiny bit left. So it's a very, very niche scenario where this actually is useful. Medusa changes? I don't think so. Here are their stats. I don't know if anything changed for them. I'm not aware of any changes. It is net positive wins, yes, but it's not net positive enough to be useful, and it's deferred wins. So you lose wins now to gain wins at the end of the battle. So it's not very useful, because usually the game is decided by the time you would get those extra wins. And I have tried it. Like, there was time people were taking just a hero caster with Power of Darkness to use on themselves and nothing else for like 400 gold to get a little bit extra WOM, but it doesn't give you another Soul Stealer, and again puts all that WOM to the end of the battle, which isn't very useful. Doom Bolt is 2 WOM cheaper? I wouldn't know. I never used the thing. It is in fact 9 WOM. Is 28 WOM enough to cast a Soul Stealer? It is 16. Power of Darkness, unless they changed it, it does not give you that much. Let's see, how much does it give you? It gives you 0.7 times 20 times 2. That's 28. I remember it being shit. I don't remember the math. Wrath against spam is easy thanks to a better spell kit and life leeching. True. Glean Magic. What about Glean Magic? I don't think it's changed, but I don't have the stats memorized. Something worth the Unwrathy Kite. Okay. Better or worse? Like I said, I don't remember the stats. Here's the stat card. Take a look. Dom seems mostly good with Lord and Summon. I mean, you can do it on a hero. Like I said, people have it in the past. I've seen people bring a hero caster just for 400 to cast Power of Darkness on themselves. I have never found it to be terribly worthwhile. Alright. What else have we test? Oh, by the way, these guys are crazy. Islev did not need nets. Having 3-bound nets on a missile unit that does a ton of damage is crazy. Like a faction with all of their infantry is missile units that can focus fire like nobody's business. A net is just crazy. They did not need this. Oh, you want to see if the changeling can turn into dragon form characters? Give me changeling. Where are the dragons? Why are they organized like this? Is it alphabetical? It is alphabetical. There's Miao Yang. $100-meter range? Boo, bro. What has 100-meter range? What has 100-meter range? Kislev is good and Dom? Kislev was A tier last patch before the DLC. With the DLC, I expect they will most likely be S tier. They are. I haven't tested them against things that used to counter them. Greenskins were really good against them. Beastmen were pretty good against them. I haven't tested them. But Kislev does seem very, very strong. Yeah. Yeah, Kislev has been doing very, very well. Let's see. Can Miao Yang turn into dragon? I don't think so. Yeah, instead she has the ability to turn back into the changeling. So the Cathay dragons cannot turn into the dragon form if they are actually just the changeling. So no Cathay dragons for Tzeentch. The net, yeah. Yeah, it's 100-meter range, which is where all the threats to your missile units are going to be. Like, if something goes to actually threaten the Kislev backline, instead of needing a cav unit to come and protect you, you can actually just net them and destroy them. Yeah, Kislev is going to be crazy. Like, I think Things in the Woods are the biggest win for Kislev here, because it's a melee, armor-piercing mass unit that doesn't count towards missile cap. Like, that's the thing Kislev has always struggled with, is everything counts toward missile cap. Having a frontline armor-piercing unit that is relatively cheap and doesn't count towards your missile unit cap is incredible. These things are so clutch for the faction. And of course, like, yeah, the ambushes are great too. The monsters aren't bad, but the Things in the Woods, I think, are the biggest win for Kislev on this patch. Yan Bo is best dragon to turn into? I mean, if you want to, I don't think it's ever worth to turn into something that isn't Ku'gath, Be'lakor, Skarbrand. I'm not even sure about Skarbrand, to be honest. It's like Ku'gath or Be'lakor almost all the time, if you're bringing Changeling, which is a huge investment. Because, like, usually you don't take any spell kit on him, because he's not going to be him the entire game. He's going to be somebody else, and he's going to get their spell kit. So if you're going for Ku'gath or Be'lakor, they both have their own spell kit, so it's not worth bringing spells. But he's still 3,500. It's a huge investment. Best 17 on Mortis orders? I believe he does, yes. You can't bring any Nurgle lore in Fruit Rule? What do you mean you can't bring any Nurgle lore? You can't bring any Nurgle lore in Fruit Rules? I'm not sure what you mean. Oh, also, fun fact though, Fruit Rules doesn't allow this, but now that Walk has the Mutolith Vortex Beast, you can bring a really degenerate triple Mortis engine build for Walk. If you want to make people on ladder hate you, do this. Just triple Mortis engine with Festus Mortis, the Mutolith Mortis, and the Chaos Warstrider Celeste Mortis. Triple Mortis, baby. Not toxic at all. Alright. I think that's covering most of the changes I am aware of. Can't bring Nurgle lore and Big Tzeentch Beast. Oh, you can't bring double Mortis effect. Yes, that's correct. Yeah, you can't have double Mortis effect. That's correct. In Fruit Rules. But you can still turn to Ku'gath and just not bring the Mutolith and have a Ku'gath show up in your opponent's backline. The thing, Ku'gath doesn't like being shot because he's so slow, but Changeling is pretty quick, and he's stealthed. So you can get where you need to be and then turn into Kugath, and if Kugath suddenly is in a bad spot, you can turn back into Changeling and run away. Oh, it's still probably okay in Dom. Yeah. Test things in the wood versus Rogers. Just curious. Sure, I can do that. Alright, attack me this time, AI. Islev. Things in the woods. And the rats. Rats. Can't bring Changeling on Kugath Festus with Mutalith? Yes. Triple Morris will actually absolutely kill land battles. Yeah, that's why fruit rules in tournaments. Yep. Like I said, in tournaments under fruit rules. How often can Changeling transform? I think it's a 2-minute cooldown. I can check after we're done here. I'm pretty sure it's 120 seconds. But I will double check once we're done with this test.
The motherland's finest.
Time for Monster Mash. Yeah, things in the wood are destroying the rat ogres. They have much better stats. The weapon attack's a little bit lower, but they have 20% fizz resist that the rat ogres lack, and they are just annihilating them. Well, okay, no, it's not as... I've seen this in my test with these guys, is sometimes they just destroy. Like this one absolutely destroyed. The other ones are going really even, and I'm not sure why that's happening. But that happened earlier in the Dryad test. Like these ones are going really even, and these ones are going really even. These ones actually almost had a mutual route. Like this one almost lost nothing. So, I'm not sure why. Alright, Changeling transformation cooldown. From the sword, it is a 120-second cooldown. Not having Mortis on Incarnate to make it more well-rounded, or just feel like paying something you don't need, just one anti-large SE? I haven't thought about that. To be honest, I don't feel like we're paying for it. For 1800, this is a really impressive stat line. The armor's a little low, so it does end up being a bit squishy. But Fizz Resist and all of its good stats, like I don't feel like we're paying for the Mortis engine that much. And the Mortis isn't even that bad. So, no, I don't feel like I'm hurting in that regard. You're not bringing blue scribes and changing the blue scribes to Changeling, you're not living. I don't think the Changeling can turn into the blue scribes. Yeah, I think it's only legendary lords, not heroes. Oh no, you can do Gotrek and Felix. Can you do the blue scribes? Near the top, right? They're not on here. Felix is. So, yeah, Gotrek and Felix are. So is Harry, but I don't think the blue scribes are on here. Yeah. Oh no, they are. You can turn into them. Neat. Oh, it's the blue scribes. Okay, lovely. Can Changeling transform more than once? That was a done death of battle once you assume the other. No, you can turn back into the Changeling. It's just a cooldown. Yeah. Any more than SE's value? Yep. So I remember going down. Pity Shades got nerfed again. Was that fake news? Let's check. Like I said, I haven't actually checked the spells all that much. 5 for 13 seconds. I don't remember what it is on live, but one of you who's on live can check and compare and tell me. So 5, 100% AP for 13 seconds for 15 WOM. And then if you upgrade, it's 8 for 22. So someone could tell me. Transform, not instantly. You can't instantly use turn back. There's a 2-minute cooldown. Starts with a T, yeah. Aerial, yep, aerial is an option. Yep. What is the things in the woods bonus for infantry? It is 16. So that'll be a bounty next season. Yeah, it's gonna bring Changeling, turn into the cheapest thing you can think of. Probably Tretch. To bring the Changeling, turn into Tretch and still win. Yep. You know it's 5. You know it's 5. Overcast was 8. Yes. Yeah, I think the duration is unchanged as well. Ooh. All right. Any other questions? Anything else you guys want to see? Or we call it for the night. Nope, unchanged. That's what I thought. Oh, we haven't shown off any of the new Kislev Chariot characters. So the Hag of Beasts is actually really, really nice because she has the a summon for those guys, for the things in the woods. But also they do pretty decent damage to infantry. Let's do Dark Elves. Sorceress of nothing. Go away. And just give some Bleak Swords to run over. Oh, fake news. Never chase after Cav rather stuck in a blob. It was optional how much you pay for it. Yeah, I don't know if you would. I don't know what the optimal use for that thing is. I suspect it's probably mostly for anti-monstrous infantry or characters. The Incarnate. Like, it's a massive anti-large duelist, I assume. I haven't done a ton of investigating its animations, but it's not fast enough to catch Cav. It's only 60 speed. So Cav is probably not where it's going to be fighting most of the time. Yep, we showed the things in the wood bonus infantry was 16, I think. Lore of high changes? I wasn't aware there were any high changes. You can check. Khorne did not get any love. No one loves Khorne. Death Shadows, I will show that when we are back in the menu. Right now, we are going to show off these chariots. And we can show off when our stunk is bear. So these chariots are actually pretty decent. They're pretty squishy, they don't have much armor. But they do alright in melee. Yeah, for a single-handed chariot, their damage isn't bad at all. They are getting a little bit stuck, and they are a bit squishy. So you gotta be pretty on top of them for using melee. The missile strength is also not bad at all. The other thing I have noticed a ton with this character, especially Mother Astankia, is the Spirit Bear takes forever to actually fire. It's to turn around just to face, and then it just doesn't like firing. It takes forever to actually fire that bear. And then it misses and doesn't do any damage anyway. Yeah, the chariots do okay damage. They're not bad at all. The missile attack is pretty decent as well. Specifically Mother Astankia's is the best. And when it hits, it does pretty decent damage. Summon range, I think it was 100 meters. We can take a look. Summon range is 50 meters. Okay. The Lure of Death gets, I'm not going to try to pronounce that, ward for 2 uses of 10% ward save on a target of your choice within an aura, in 35-meter aura around the caster. And then the Shadows gets, again, not trying to pronounce it, Foresight, which is a single target debuff that lowers missile block chance, armor, and missile resist. And that's infinite use. Lore of High. The High lore. Where is it? High magic. Hand of Glory looks the same to me. Apotheosis looks the same to me. Soul Quench looks... I have no idea what the Soul Quench numbers were, but there's the unit card if you want, the spell card if you want to take a look. Tempest, I think, got cheaper. I think Tempest is a little bit cheaper. Fire Convocation, pretty sure that's all the same. Cannon Forging, I have no idea what the numbers were on that in the first place. It just occurred to me, I want to see if the Magic Missiles cancel spell bug ever got fixed. Who's a good character for that? High Elves. Altharion is actually a great one for it. Soul Quench, Stormwing, and it doesn't really matter, I just need targets. Chariot shot entirely missed? Yes, it did. Snow in our eyes, give her a break. Yep. 3 missiles? Yeah. It has a little shotgun fuss spread. Cannon Forge got more Winds of Magic cost? I don't know why they would nerf that spell. It's not a very good spell. I have no idea. I don't use Aura of High Magic very often. Alright, I maybe should have brought something on the ground to make that not happen. But it'll be fine. I don't actually need to be airborne to do the bug. So if you're not aware, I can cancel. The bug was I can cancel and it'll still go off. Oh my goodness, they fixed it. Yeah, because it used to happen is if I would cast this and the wall was casting, I turned away, it would still cast. But it's not doing that anymore. Awesome. That is great. Arcane is 16? Okay. Alright, I think I have covered everything I want to cover. Last call. Any questions? Anything you guys want to see? Any stats you want to compare? Any units you want me to show off? Any of the Tzeentch stuff? We haven't looked at the Cockatrice if you guys are interested in seeing that, but I'm sure there'll be battle replays in the next couple of days, or if they aren't out already, showing off what this thing does. The debuff aura on it is pretty nice. -10 melee attack and 3rd meter order is pretty great. The Sour Guts Aura Pink Horror explodes when on death. I haven't noticed it doing a whole lot, but it seems alright. Even just for the extra stats on a Pink Horror is pretty nice. What else do we have? We have this. We talked about the Screamer, Kislev, Arwars. The Morhaime Beowulfs have a contact effect that removes all healing, which is pretty neat. It'll be in specific matchups. It's gonna be great. Like Vampire Counselor Nurgle, obviously, it'll be really, really good. And then speed debuff as well is nice. Just White Lion Chairs, it's armored infantry. I can do that. Vampire Coast. What about Vampire Coast? Check Traitorkin. Traitorkin. Where is Wild? Or Wild. Traitorkin, 11 costs. There's the stats. Again, I don't know what it looks like on live, but there's Traitorkin. You guys can compare that and let me know. Our Pink Horror card being squished. Yep. Cockatrice versus Lord of Change, 1v1. Alright. Give me you so you can run away into a corner. Cockatrice. Do my best to make it 1v1, but this guy might interfere. Actually, we can probably make Village. We just leave Village on the ground. It'll be fine, right? Those Snare boost cuts worth bringing outside of memes. So here's the thing. When I've used them, I've actually gotten pretty good spell rolls. Like, getting good spells hasn't been a problem. The problem they have is that you're paying for 6 spells, which you never really do in competitive. You only ever pay for 2, maybe 3 spells, so you're going to be paying a lot more for that caster than you are for any other caster. Like, relatively speaking. So it's just a little... It's like 400 or 500 extra gold that you really don't need to be spending on a caster. And it is, of course, a little unreliable, so... Like, they're not as big a detriment as they seem, but I don't think there's ever really a reason to bring them. How's the balance in this patch team? To be honest, I haven't played enough games to really know. I've only had the time to play a handful of games, so I'm not entirely certain. We need to land. Alright, Lord of Change versus Cockatrice. The fire goes off. Fair play, that's part of its kit. Now we have a chicken fight. Lord of Change down only 35 melee attack does really hurt it though. Also, Cockatrice has a dragon icon, and I'm all about it. Not like Tzeentch struggles with access goods, but exactly, like you have a lot of really good Lords of Magic. Although, why is our leadership crumbling? Is that because we're flying units? Oh, I need to do this better. I need to do smart things. Beloved Mourngul. Hand cannons, I checked, they didn't get changes. I can check Mourngul's real quick before I fix my test. Mourngul's. Yeah, they're cheaper. They got a 50 gold cost decrease, which I completely missed before. So yes, your beloved Mourngul's did get a little bit better. You need to be on foot or on a horse. Either one works. So that we're not flying. Yeah, hand cannons were not changed when I checked them earlier today. Come on, PC, you can do it. Alright, there we go. Alright, let's try this without completely botching it this time. The Battle of the Birds, my friends. Looks like the Cockatrice is doing pretty well. The Lord of Change is not connecting very regularly because the melee attack debuff, so it looks pretty good. Does Skaven get any substantial changes? Storm Vermin's Sword and Shield's got 100 gold cheaper. Warp Lightning Cannon's got 50 gold cheaper. Power Grab still works. I think that's all that we noticed. Okay, the Cockatrice is destroying the Lord of Change. Yeah, Cockatrices are pretty good. Solid stats and the melee attack debuff. Like, minus 10 melee attack is insane. So, Cockatrices feel real good. And it's just destroying this Lord of Change. And it's cheaper. It's 200 gold cheaper. So. Yes, power creep. Sweet, sweet power creep. They're struggling to finish it off, though. It's not connecting a ton on this Lord of Change. There we go. Now it's rumbling away. Yep. So, still over half HP. You could probably go take Village if it wanted to. Why is Lord of Change looking so weird? I think it's just the color scheme from the banner that the AI chose. It's the new sub-faction banner. So it has a different color scheme, which I actually kind of like. I like that color scheme. Also, I have a formal complaint to make. There's no new Kislev banner for Mother Astankya. There's no new Kislev banner. Cathay has a new one. Oh no, Cathay doesn't have a new one either. Also, they increased the rate at which you click through the banners, and it's amazing. Which I just now discovered. It used to, like, you had to wait for the animation. But this is actually the best change. This might actually be my favorite change on this patch. But Tzeentch has a new banner. It's the Deceivers. It's the Changelings faction. Which is nice. Always one hell of a drug? Indeed. I think any of the Greater Demons were ever good? Yeah. Not the generic versions. The Lord versions were fine, some of them. But the monster versions were not very good. Alright, anything else we want to see, folks? Anything else? Unclean is cool? Yeah. The Great Unclean one is amazing, but like the basic Unclean one is not that great. Like this guy is good. This guy, not so much. Because this guy has a Mortis engine and the other one doesn't. Alright. First time bear choice even faster now. Yep. The performance improvements we're all waiting for, honestly. I think I heard Necrofex Colossi got cheaper, but I don't know what they used to cost. So, actually, I think they were 1800, weren't they? Let me check Total War stats. Are they cheaper? Yeah, they got 100 gold cheaper. Not too bad. So, Necrofexes are cheaper. I don't know if Coast got any other changes. I checked bats. I checked their all their gun pieces. These guys got extra models. These guys got extra missile strength. Hand cannons were unchanged. Bombers were unchanged. I didn't check any of the infantry. I didn't check any of the cannons or anything like that. Let's play with Black Corsair and Zangor. My money is on the Zangor. Corsairs are notoriously low AP. Why did I get rid of you? Yep. Yeah, they were 1900. Yeah, I assume Black Archers are going to lose this just because they don't like armor. And Zangors have good armor. They have 80 armor. So, but I could be wrong. So, we'll see. Alright, let's see this one. AI, stop hiding from me, you cowards. Yeah, Zangors are destroying them. Looking pretty good for the Zangors. Yeah, Zangors seem like the best, the best addition to Tzeentch this patch, and Beastmen. Although they do run out of steam a little bit once they lose their Primal Fury a bit. They are actually coming back, and actually, Corsairs the Murderous Prowess might actually pull it back. They might pull it off. Actually, yeah, Corsairs are winning. Just barely, and because Murderous Prowess popped. Without the Murderous Prowess, I think the Zangors still win. Oh, and the leadership from the Lord. The Lord leadership also probably helped. But yeah, they barely won. I am surprised by that. Glorious F them elves. Oh, we have an elf hater. We have an elf hater in chat. Yeah, the Zangors actually traded down pretty heavily in these Corsairs. I am very surprised by that. Though, to be honest, I don't think Zangors are going to be used too much as a frontline infantry. I think they're going to be used as a mobility tool. Because they're one of the faster things you have on the ground and Vanguard summon. Like, Tzeentch doesn't have a light cav option unless you count the skirmish cav. So as for, like, fast, reinforceable Vanguard or melee units, I think Zangors are your best option. Also, no weapon strength ability for Zangor. True. We didn't buff it up with the spellcasting. So, very, very true. And, you know, they'll have other support, you know, like pink horrors and all that jazz, but yeah, it's close. It is very close. Alright, anything else you guys want to see? Any other tests you want to do? Any monster duels? Anything like that? Again, we have covered pretty much everything I want to see. You reinforce, you can't charge your laser. Yeah, true. Unless you build up, my friend. Just build up. I don't believe... Oh, somebody want to see White Lion Chariots versus Armored Infantry. We'll bring some... Some Zargard. Yeah, we'll bring an Ice Witch with some Zargard. Seems like a starting army piece to me. Okay. Yeah, like I was saying, I haven't played a ton of battles on this, so I'm really not sure how the meta is going to shake out just yet. I imagine, like, day one of the DLC going live, there's going to be so many games played, and there'll be so much more information going around than however many games I could play on the beta. So, gonna have to kind of wait and see in that regard. But I do expect Kislev is going to be really, really strong. Tzeentch is definitely looking to be in a good spot. Although they do still lack like any armor-piercing melee, which is going to hurt them. They have a hard time dealing with things like Kislev that just field so much armor. Alright, let's see how these chariots do. Not very well. They got stuck. They didn't push through very well. They didn't do a whole lot of damage. Not very impressive. Like, 3 out of 10. 3 out of 10. And Zarga don't have particularly high mass. Okay, they're on the higher end for infantry mass. Okay, that charge was actually a lot better. But they still don't get through that cleanly. So, they're doing okay. Zangors might actually be a lot to keep Wood Elves down this match. Actually, I have a video coming out tomorrow of exactly that matchup. I played Wood Elves versus Beastmen versus Subutai on the new map, and that will be the video coming out in about... oh, what's that, 9 hours from now? It should go up. Yeah. But the buff since the unit is going 3 different factions? Yeah. Yeah, Zangors on Beastmen feels like the biggest change. Because, like, Beastmen, obviously their infantry front line was just terrible. Like, Ungors and even Gors were made of paper, so you couldn't really have a sustainable front line as Beastmen. Now that you have Zangors, you have a front line that'll stick around and grind for a while and actually give you chaff support for the long run and actually win a lot of fights. Which is just unprecedented for Beastmen. So it's a pretty big game changer for them. You can actually invest in infantry builds. They're not super easy to shoot. They're not super easy to burning head. You can actually have a durable front line, and that's a game changer. I feel like Walk are going to use it the least. Like, Walk already have such an oversaturation of unit. Like, they're so spoiled for choice that, like, they don't necessarily fill a hole in the roster because, well, every hole is filled for the most part because they have so many units. Zangors for everything Wood Elves hate. Magic damage, fast infantry, silver shields, and barrier. Yeah. Yeah, for Beastmen, it's just crazy. Alright, but I think that is all we're going to do for the night. I will be back tomorrow night. I think we'll be a little earlier tomorrow night, and I'll be playing some sweaty games, trying to check out the meta with RTK Subutai. So look forward to that. I think it'll be around the same time. I think it'll be a bit... no, it'll be a bit later. It'll be like 8 p.m. EST will probably get started. So check out that. Let's see you guys there. Thank you all for watching. I will see you guys next time. And I just smacked my mic. Sorry about that. But peace.